Hi everybody, welcome to this week's video. I am dressed like a fabulous dragon today because we are talking about fairy tales, but these are not your mama's fairy tales. We are talking about retellings, that's right. So what we're going to talk about first is this book. It's one of my favorites. It's called Red. It's by Jed Alexander. This book is amazing. It has no words in it, and you're thinking to yourself, what would a book with no words? Well, I will tell you, because the illustrations in this book are amazing. They are black and white and red all over, and I know that sounds like the beginning of a really funny joke, but it's not, because this book is awesome. You can go through it with your kid, and you can describe what's happening in the book. You can have them describe what's happening in the book. You can let their imaginations go crazy. You can give all of the different characters names. I will tell you that the illustrations in this book do not directly follow what the traditional story of Little Red Riding Hood is. It's way better. I love this book with the passion of 1,000 burning suns deep in my soul. So go and pick it up ASAP right now. Pause, well, maybe after you finish the video, go get this. Or you can click through the Amazon link that's down below and go order it. Like, do it now. Do it while you listen. Do it now. Next, we're going to talk about The Giant and the Beanstalk. It's by Diane Stanley. This one is about Jack and the Beanstalk. Now, I don't personally know anybody that has never heard the story of Jack and the Beanstalk. I'm sure they exist. I just don't know them. But have you ever thought of that story from the perspective of the giant? I'm betting you haven't. Well, this book, The Giant and the Beanstalk, is from the perspective of the giant. His name is Otto, and man, all he wants to do is get his pet chicken back. Her name is Clara, and he loves her dearly because he is very gentle, and so he heads down the beanstalk and is like, where is Jack? Where is Jack? And he's searching everywhere for this dude that stole his freaking pet. Like, I don't blame him for being a little cranky, you know what I mean? Anyway, so along the way he meets several other Jacks that might look a little bit familiar to you. This book is really fun as well. It has funny illustrations. It's fun to read with your kids. You can go through and talk about the different nursery rhymes. You can try and get them to guess which Jack goes with which nursery rhyme. They have all of the nursery rhymes in the back of the book. This is just a really good book. It has a really great underlying story where it talks about how different doesn't always mean that they're scary, and also it kind of teaches that you can be gentle and you can be kind and you can be polite and you can still get what you need, and you know what, that can influence other people to be the same way. This is a really, really good book if you're looking to try and teach that, teach gentility to somebody that maybe needs to learn it a little bit. Next up, Cinder-elly by Frances Minters. Okay, this is a modernization of a classic Cinderella. Let me just stop right here and tell you, if you grew up in the 90s, if you loved Hey Arnold, like I did, you are going to love this book because the illustrations are almost exactly that exact style. I love reading it. A warning that it is extremely long and kind of wordy. It is written in rhyme, and so if you have a child that doesn't have a very long attention span, maybe you want to keep that in mind. Maybe take it parts at a time, maybe you know, a couple pages, and then be like, oh, what's gonna happen next, and read it the next night, that kind of thing. But it is really good. Cinder-elly lives in New York with her parents and her older sisters, Instead of a dance, they go to a basketball game. Instead of heels, she gets glass sneakers. Instead of a fairy godmother, it's just a regular godmother who happens to be weirdly magical, but it doesn't matter. Instead of a coach and 4 horses, her trash can turns into a bike. It's amazing. Just go and check it out from your library and read it. 4th book this week, Dinosaurs' New Clothes by Diane Good. This is a straightforward parody adaptation of the classic Hans Christian Andersen tale. And by straightforward, I mean the words and the story is pretty much the same. The magic for this book is in the illustrations. They're all dinosaurs, man. How can you get better than a book where the emperor is a freaking Tyrannosaurus Rex? You can't. This book is awesome. It's very funny. If you have kids that love dinosaurs, they're going to love this book because they're going to get to be able to identify what roles each of the different variety of dinosaurs taking. For parents, it's really fun to read and recognize, again, that children can recognize the absurdities of adulthood without any kind of prompting at all. There is a really cool thing at the back that talks about the history of the original fairy tale, and also talks about some of Diane Good's desires and what she wanted to do as she created this adaptation of it. So it's really fun to read. It's a classic. You can't get better than it, really. Okay, and last but 100% not least is this one. It's called Huff and Puff. It's by Claudia Rueda. I'm terrible with names. But this book is possibly my son's current favorite. I have read it to him no less than 30 times in the past week, and in any number of personal situations. I've read it to him before bed. I've read it to him after he went to bed. I've read it to him when he wakes up in the morning. I've read it to him at breakfast. I've read it to him while I'm on the toilet. I've read it to him while he's on the toilet. I've read it to him while I'm in the bathtub. I've read it to him literally everywhere. This book is so good. Okay, it is excellent for toddlers. It is very, very short. Like first pig, second pig, third pig, first pig building house, second pig inside the house, third pig inside the house again. So it's really short. It holds attention spans really, really well. And it's also interactive. And it has my son cracking up every single time he does it. So there are these pages in the books called Huff and Puff. They all say the same thing. They all look exactly the same. And they have this little hole in the middle. See, I'm putting my finger through it right now. And they can blow through the hole, and then you turn the page and you see what they did when they were the big bad wolf. So that's really fun for them. My son, he just cracks up every single time he does it. I do not know what the appeal is, but it works, man. It works. And the best part is there's a twist ending that you would not expect. So I never have gotten tired of reading this like in any of the 6 million times that I have read it and that I expect to read it in the future. I don't think I ever will. Anyway, so those are our fairy tale adaptation books, and I hope that you loved them as much as I do. They're just so good. If you loved them, do me a favor, hit the thumbs up button down below. If you are new to the channel, please hit the subscribe button, and also tap the alert button. That way you can get notified whenever I put up a new video. FYI, that's usually Wednesday mornings, like every single week. It's always the same. Always the same. Anyway, next week we are going to talk all about creepy crawlies, and I hope that I don't make anybody nervous, but I love Halloween animals, so I can't wait to talk to you next week. Bye.
Beautiful. Go for it.
If you're happy and you know it, stay in bed. If you're happy and you know it, stay in bed. If you're happy and you know it, getting up will surely blow it. If you're happy and you know it, stay in bed. Oh, oh gosh, that was my face. You rubber banded me in the face. I've been faced. I'm injured.
You're the boss here. Just, claim workers' comp.
I have to pay workers' comp. It's not. Don't do it again. Please don't do it again. It hurts so bad.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Like you really got me like right here.